What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be going over the new Madden 21 next gen trailer that they just released. I've been excited to see this, what exactly is going to be changing. I mean, there have been articles beforehand with a couple things. We knew graphics was going to get an overhaul, of course, with the next gen console. But I was curious on everything else, and in this video we are going to dive into it. But before we get to it, guys, please leave a like on this video and subscribe for more content. But enough talking, guys. Let's get into this trailer.
Welcome to the most realistic NFL simulation ever. It begins with next-gen player movement powered by NFL next-gen stats. RFID tags and NFL players' shoulder pads chart their every move within inches. And this information now drives all animation in Madden, delivering unique acceleration rates, directional changes, and movement for all players on the field. You'll feel the explosion of Michael Thomas in and out of his breaks, the elite acceleration and blow-by ability of Henry Ruggs, and the raw athleticism of Dalvin Cook, feeling dangerous on every touch. Defensively, players will move and position themselves based on their next-gen stats data. Elite defenders will react authentically to make plays on the ball and take unique angles when chasing down ball carriers. Next-gen player movement delivers realistic and smooth simulation gameplay based on actual NFL player data. Thanks to next-gen stats, you can only experience this in Madden. Throughout each game, key moments trigger next-gen stats replays, giving you an analytical breakdown of the play. Over 15 specific data points tracked on every down give you the information you need to make strategic decisions and optimize your gameplay. To help create these highlight moments, play calling is now more intuitive and accessible. You can easily call plays to get the ball in the hands of your star players. You can save your favorite plays to find quickly when the perfect moment arises. The next generation of Madden is here, and it's never felt so real. Feel game day in Madden NFL 21.
Alright, so after watching this trailer, please leave in the comments, guys, down below what you are thinking about it so far. This is a trailer. It's not actual gameplay, so I'm not going to take it, I'm kind of going to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I know the graphics are going to definitely be better. Loading times were already addressed. Little stuff like that. But again, the graphics do look better. In game, I don't know. Obviously, they didn't show any of that. But there is a couple things I want to dive into. So the next gen player movement powered by next gen stats is something that obviously everything that they're adding in this trailer is a bonus. I mean, it's probably stuff they should have added before the game even came out, to be straight up honest with you. But them adding this is good because it does allow player tracking, and it will make the animations more smooth, and it'll look more realistic, which is what obviously everybody wants. So what is next gen stats? NFL player tracking, also known as next gen stats, is the capture of real-time location data, speed, and acceleration for every player, every play on every inch of the field. Sensors throughout the stadium track RFID tags placed on player shoulder pads, charting individual movements within inches in every NFL stadium. This is pretty cool, and again, guys, it'll make it seem, it'll make the animations more smoother, it'll make it look more realistic, which is honestly what a simulation game is supposed to do. So again, this is nice, and it's definitely a good start. But I would obviously like to see more, just like everybody in the EA community, in the Madden community, would like to see a lot more done. But this is definitely a start, and I am excited to put a gameplay out and seeing how all these features actually work. So next gen stats equal next gen player movement, which is basically what I was just talking about. Leveraging the power of NFL next gen stats, next gen player movement is fueled by real athlete data, route paths, and acceleration rates, allowing the next generation of Madden NFL to deliver the most realistic, authentic, and fluid player movement in franchise history. feel the most elite NFL athletes in every position on the field, or every position move on the virtual field like they do in real world. So basically what I'm assuming they're saying is, you know, trying to think of a player like Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna move and do sort of like mannerisms like he does in real life, and other players such as that. So I mean, players will run routes. You know, Tyreek Hill will run a route how he does in real life. So again, guys, I am looking forward to this. They're obviously putting in some work to use this next gen stats stuff to put into this game. So again, I am excited to check this out. So back with the route running, next gen stats and route running. With next gen stats innovation, route running in Madden NFL 21 has been completely overhauled. Receivers will run actual routes logged by next gen stats, real NFL game data, in addition to speed and acceleration rates. Our animation engine is also leveraging player-specific route paths from next-gen stats for individual receivers. For example, the path that Green Bay Packers wide receiver Davante Adams takes on a deep crossing route on a Sunday afternoon will be the same deep crossing route reflected by Adams in Madden NFL gameplay. The result is a natural feeling, fluid routes with more rounded turns, authentic nuance. So yeah, basically, like I was saying, this they're taking the actual science and the technology that they were using, that they use with the next gen stats in real life, and transferring it over to Madden, which is pretty cool. Again, you know, a corner route isn't straight, you know, in 45 degrees. You know, you're being covered by a corner. A lot of the time you can't make a perfect route, so you know it's gonna look a little wonky, and that's just what, you know, football is. That's how routes are run in real life. A slant can't be perfect, you know, an out can't be perfect. You got to round it out a little bit, especially if you're being covered, you know, man to man, stuff like that. So again, adding more realistic, this is all I've wanted in Madden, you know, adding realistic, you know, player movement, route running, the animations, man. I mean, there's been some rough animations in gameplay when you go, say you go to do a quarterback dive, but then, you know, or a quarterback slide, I mean, and then you slide forward, but you actually slide. It's just like this weird thing where you just want it to be, you know, you want it to be realistic. And again, with the quarterback position, you know, Lamar Jackson isn't going to run the same as Big Ben, you know, so that, you know, they got to add the next gen stats technology there, and hopefully it is, you know, completely overhauled and it looks a lot better. So here's another thing, guys. Before, on previous gen, our receivers ran from one specific point to another specific point at top speed all the time, and made very similar cuts with very little difference between unique players. So right there, I mean, exactly, like a 62 overall is going to run the same route as Davante Adams. I mean, maybe not as fast, but it's just going to be the exact same thing. No different mannerisms. I mean, certain players have certain, you know, little juke moves they'll throw in a route, or, you know, head fakes, or whatever the case may be, or maybe some footwork, you know. But, you know, in Madden, it's just like every player is the same, sort of. It's just maybe their catching is better, so if it hits them in the hands, they won't drop it. But here, after, on next gen, player ratings and archetypes will heavily impact the quality and speed of each route, and they will be run as an entire route from start to finish, rather than individual portion of a route on previous gen. So right there, they're basically explaining what they've been saying in the last two in the last two notes there. This is good. This is definitely in the right direction, guys. I know the game's already been out for like 4 months, but it's in a good direction. I really like, I think this next gen stats thing might be my favorite part of this, just for the realistic, you know, from a realistic standpoint. And also, I mean, we've just been talking about offense. So next gen stats and defense, next gen player movement doesn't just benefit the offense. We also analyze the next gen stats data for defensive players in terms of speed, facing direction, and acceleration. I'm just going to pause here, guys, before I read the rest of it. Defense has been a very frustrating thing too. Like, again, all the animations are very similar. I mean, your receiver will be, or you'll be facing someone, you know, doing a fly route, say, and your defender will run right by them. You know, it's just like so unrealistic, and it's just so annoying. But hopefully, with this next gen stats thing, they can add, you know, a bunch of stuff to make it more realistic. You know, your top corner will actually make, you know, a crazy deflection, or, you know, man coverage is just on point. You know, I'm looking forward to this a lot. This data has allowed our animation engine to provide the appropriate content to make defenders who are backpedaling and strafing much more natural looking and authentic. Again, that's just the same animations they've been doing this whole time. Now they're finally going to be adding a little flair on this, make it more realistic. In coverage, players will react and break on plays more consistently and predictably. And next gen stats also brought movements to AI pursuit, so that when AI controlled defenders are pursuing a ball carrier, they will now get in better position to make a play, or be in a better position for a timely click on for the user to make a play. Again, a lot of time you'll be a receiver will go for a slant or an out, and you'll be a linebacker, but you can't break on the ball because you're across the field, and it's just like your player is running away. It's just it can get so annoying, especially when you're just watching the CPU do stuff like that. The guy's going for a slant and he just lets him run on by, or he dives too early. There's been so many stupid things. You just watch the CPU play. It's just extremely annoying. So the next gen replay is also something that's pretty cool, and this, again, they're definitely going for super realistic here. I don't think they're addressing franchise or career mode or anything like that in this, which is unfortunate, but this is definitely a good start. The next gen stats powered replays. To surface some of the data to our players, we've also added presentation elements to our instant replays, which instant replays have been so plain and so boring. It's just literally maybe like 3 or 4 different camera angles. I mean, in this next gen stats thing, as you've seen in the trailer, they're adding like release time, like the quarterback throwing the ball. It's just air time, stuff like that. So players can relive the thrill of the game-changing plays, all backed by next gen stats. The next gen stats powered replays can be triggered by certain statistical moments, and then they are presented in beautifully rendered cinematics throughout the gameplay experience. With the increased power provided by next-gen consoles, Madden NFL is able to replicate the real-time positional RFID radio frequency identification data collection system used by NFL to calculate next-gen stats data on the virtual gridiron. This data is used to create these new dynamic replays to highlight the biggest plays by the best players in the game, all shown through the lens of next-gen stats, just like you would commonly see on an NFL broadcast in today's NFL. So again, through the trailer, you can see that Diggs is going for a route, and the completed air distance, it's up there. There's just all this kind of stuff, which if you make a big play, especially stuff like this, little stats here and there, something different. Madden has done the same thing for replays for like literally, I think, ever. It's never changed. It's just the same old boring, different. I think they added like the pylon camera like a couple years ago, but I mean that's just so plain and boring. This is definitely an improvement, and this is just a little graphical thing they're doing, and just a little neat little thing to throw in the game. And here are the triggers. We got yards after catch, maybe make a big play. Derrick Henry, smoke somebody, stiff arm somebody, and runs for an extra 10 yards. Or after a screen pass, does something like that. Time to throw, like we've seen Josh Allen do there. There's a bunch of things here if you guys want to check this list out. Complete air distance, which we've seen in this one. QB speed at time of throw is another one that we've seen in this trailer. Distance from own end zone, carrying speed, stuff like that. This is pretty, this is a nice little thing. It's pretty interesting to throw in here. So all these things will trigger this next gen replay system. Next on the list is the next gen play calling, which this is pretty cool. It's star driven play calling. So you have again, we'll use Derrick Henry for example. There'll be a bunch of suggestions for the best plays. I mean, and you can also favorite your plays if I'm not mistaken. There's a thing there. It says formation, concept, play type, personnel, favorites. So if you have a favorite play, I mean, I don't know if this is, I'm assuming this is going to be you can use this in all modes maybe, but this next gen play calling is definitely pretty cool. So if you're on the Baltimore Ravens, you got Lamar Jackson, favorite, throw in the a bunch of RPOs and an option play in there, and you can just go to the favorites and quickly select that. I do like that. That is definitely something that makes the game go by quicker, I guess, instead of looking through the whole playbook for a certain play. But next gen play calling, to provide a solid foundation for the player movement system, we've also made a significant update to our play calling system. giving players more control to call the best plays for the right players on every down via by-player play calling. And you can now keep all your preferred plays on speed dial with a new favorite play marker on the playbook tab, which provides an intuitive way to save your favorites and easily find them later. Again, like I just said, it just saves you some time. You can just quickly go there, boom, hit your favorite play, and not have to go through the playbook. An easily accessible go-to play feature is something only fans have requested for a long time, and we're excited to deliver it on next gen. So I'm actually curious, guys, if they are going to put this in I don't think so, actually. Are they gonna put this in the Xbox One version? I don't know. So it's just gonna be the same old, you know, not really improved Madden, just the same old Madden. That kind of sucks. And to just wrap this up, guys, my personal opinion on this, I mean, this is good. I mean, it's in the right direction. It's an improvement. Madden has been pretty much the same for years to come, and I mean, the whole community is just, you know, I try not to bash it, because I mean, I love football and I want the game to do good, but god damn, they need to come do a complete overhaul. And I mean, this stuff, you know, would have been really great to have on release day when the game came out initially. And also this update, why, like, you know, 2 weeks later? I mean, the Xbox came out a few weeks ago. Why is this taking, you know, why was this pushed back, and why wasn't it released right away when the Xbox and PS5 came out? That's a little frustrating too. But I mean, again, it's not perfect. It's in the right direction. They're adding a bunch of stuff. The next gen thing is pretty big. They need to keep that in the Madden game. But guys, leave down below your opinions, good, bad, doesn't matter. I want to hear what you guys think. It's nice to hear from you guys and to know what you guys what your opinions are on this game. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you guys later.